gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Happy Thursday. Like any other Thursday, well, most Thursdays, we're back at it. Gutter Live, 8 p.m. Eastern time, here we are. But you only see me tonight. My man Colin is traveling. He was at a show in Chicago, and he's on his way back home to the Michigan area. So he's in transit. I think he was bummed, but he said he's in the dark. I think he's driving. So he couldn't make it tonight. But nonetheless, I have an amazing guest. I'm very excited about this one. And I've been waiting for him to get on. I have a very near and dear friend to my wife and I. We are very close with him and his wife. An amazing guy, an amazing couple. Very, very bright guy and articulate in the insurance realm. When I see him, and we socialize, 4 or 5 times a year with a group, we are lounging and hanging out and having a good time. However, for those of you that know me, I'm always talking business. So this gentleman's name is Matt Caselli. I'm going to bring him out in a second. And every time I'm talking to Matt, I'm sure his eyes roll on the back of his head. I'm always talking business. But I'm very intrigued by what he does for so many reasons. For one, selfishly, I need the service, right? He's an insurance broker. So we're in a renewal phase. He's working on a policy for my wife and my family and I. But there's so many other reasons. There's so many topics that keep popping up again and again and again. And you guys at home know this. You gutter guys particularly, we're on ladders all day. And there's constant injuries, slip and falls, guys that can't work for 6 months at a time. Sadly, some deaths. There's been some crazy stuff. Let's admit it, in the last few years, as these Facebook groups get busier and busier, we've had a lot of injuries, and a lot of guys are not insured. Breaks my heart. It's been chewing me alive, and I'm trying to piece things together. I saw Matt a few times. I said, you need to get on the show. Let me get him out here, first of all. Matt, get your ass out here. What's up, brother?
Got it, man. How are you? What's up, Frank?
Excited you're on this show, man. It's been too long. We've been talking about this for a while.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Really do.
Absolutely. So I was, hyping the crowd, or to kind of like cautionary tales. There's so many guys that get hurt and have horror stories. They have young businesses. They're just getting things moving, or they're still kind of in this key man role, and they need to be on the ladders, and they haven't really replaced themselves yet as an installer or a salesperson. And they're still working in the business, and an injury is just absolutely devastating. And a lot of guys don't carry insurance. And I just want to kind of drop in why this happens, and then I want to turn the microphone to you because I really can't wait to hear your take on this. And let's just talk about human nature, right? The reason why they're not insured is because they can't be. A lot of these guys, I relate to some of them so well. They bootstrapped a business just like I did. Started from nothing, put together 5-10 grand, bought a machine, bought some equipment, just kind of got things rolling. And then, you defer that money. You keep putting that money, rolling that money back into the business. You need a truck, you need a guy, you need a tool, another set of tools, you need more ladders. You just keep pushing this along, and you take care of yourself last. So there's so many questions for you. It's like, when do you make sure you have insurance in place? How do you do it affordably? How do you select a policy? How do you know what's best? What's the best policy structure for you and your family? And if you have employees and you're trying to extend insurance to them, first thing we think about is, wow, that's expensive. But this is doable. And we need somebody like you. We need the grand wizard of insurance to tell us, calm down, and this is how it gets done. Matt, tell us about you and your background.
Gotcha. Thank you, Frank. Me and my background. I own an agency called Eagle Group Planning. Eagle Group Planning is located in New York. We've been in existence just short of 25 years. I opened up in 2001. Tremendous client base as far as 700 group clients, about 200 individuals that we offer health insurance to. Health insurance is our specialty. Our tagline is laser focused on health insurance. We don't do other insurance lines, general liability. We don't do it. This is our specialty and has been from day one and always will be. It's important. It's huge. It's like what happens, and people don't realize, like, even if you're 26 years old, your appendix could still burst. It doesn't matter. It doesn't be anything significant, and that's a $60,000 bill. If you don't have any kind of insurance, it's like, all right, you're out of pocket 60 grand. And all of a sudden you worked all year and all of a sudden you got to cut into your savings.
Yeah.
So there's options out there. There's plenty of options out there, whether you're in California, New York, Connecticut, wherever you are. If you're an individual, if you're a business owner, all these guys are business owners that we're talking to tonight. You might have 1 or 2 employees. You might be your own shop, might be your own thing. There's still options. You might have looked at options in the past. It's $1,000 a month for an individual. It's $1,200 a month for an individual. Your family is $3,000, $2,800, $3,800 a month. There's less expensive options. Take it from somebody. I'm an insurance guy. I don't like spending a lot of money on insurance. I want to be protected. I don't want to lose my business or my house. I need to be protected. So you don't need to have a phenomenal plan. I have plans for individuals as low as $400 or $500 a month.
Wow.
And it's going to cover you. It is going to cover you. God forbid you get something serious, $100 grand, $150,000 hospital stay. You're going to be covered for that. You're going to be out of pocket maybe $4 or $5 grand, but you're not going to be out of pocket for $100,000.
Right.
So it kills me when I see anybody. I don't care if you're 25 or 65 walking around with no insurance whatsoever.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's just unheard of. And a spouse and kids, that's a whole other conversation when you have a family under you.
Right.
But listen, to go with nothing is just too damn scary. There's options out there. You don't have to, again, high deductible products. It's okay. You don't have to have a super rich plan. Listen, I have a nice car. I don't drive a Lamborghini. If you can afford a Lamborghini, it's nice to have one.
It's a good way to put it.
When it comes to health insurance, just get something in place. Your local marketplace, whether you're living in California or Texas or Connecticut, you have a local marketplace scenario. You can go to there, you can buy your product. The products typically are local, regional, minimal doctors, and minimal hospitals. The products we have are national. So whether you're traveling, you're on vacation, you want to see a doctor in other states, we have national coverage, national carriers. So a lot of options we can go down. Frank, where do you want me to go from here? I mean,
yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? So to me, I try to get in the mindset of where I was when I was younger, right? How I myself needed this, how insurance rolled out for me. I think the biggest hurdle, putting myself in the mind of the 25-year-old operator, let's say, is that fear of the bill, right? The cost, the fear of the unknown. That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. But you just nailed it by saying there are $500 policies. I mean, that's affordable. How do you think somebody should look at cost on paper against what their earnings are? Because a lot of these guys are, 1 year, 2 years in business. Yeah. When you're 1 year, 2 years in business, you haven't really gelled. You haven't formalized recurring income. You hit a number. Am I going to do that again next year? I don't know. It's all kind of new to me. How do I part with that money safely? What is acceptable? There was a guy in the insurance industry when I was in a B&I group when I was first coming up. And he used to say this over and over and over, and it stuck with me. He said, I'm here to make sure you're not underinsured or overinsured. He would use that term all the time. And I was like, what the hell's overinsured? I guess I understand it. I mean, I'm paying for policies I never really would actualize, really, I guess.
Right.
But how do you guide somebody? Say I'm your son. How do you advise me on how much to spend and allocate based on whatever my net earnings are with my business?
A younger, healthier person in their 20s, 25, 30 years old, you go bare bone, unless it's a sick younger person, which is possible, but not the norm. So a healthier, younger person in their 20s, you certainly go with a high deductible plan. Now, anywhere you look for health insurance, they label them with metals: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Okay? Forget the platinums. Forget the golds. Look at bronze and silver for starters.
Interesting.
Okay? So now we start with the bronze level. Upfront, high deductible. But what's really important, every product, even a bronze, has an out-of-pocket limit built into it. And that's your safety net. That's your maximum out-of-pocket. When you hit that number, everything's paid 100%. So if you go with a bronze and you go with a product that's, let's say, $500, yes, by the way, it's a business expense. Now, we're just finishing tax time. I don't know how you guys do with your accountants out there, but my accountant didn't make me very happy this year, right? You have a great year, but you're paying a lot of money.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you guys are business owners. You want to have an expense, have some write-offs. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden, you're paying $500 or $600 or $700 a month for your health insurance. That's a business expense. That's going to help you in the long run, right? So you need those numbers. Bottom line is, you pay the $500 to $600, $700. You get hit with something big. An out-of-pocket limit in a bronze level plan is approximately $9,000.
Right.
Now, it's a big number, but versus a $100,000 hospital stay, 9,000 is a lot easier to swallow. You could swallow 9,000.
Now, I could do this because these guys know me, and I'm going to put this out there and just be a little brash.
Yeah.
You knuckleheads out there, you're spending $1,500 a month on some fancy truck and the cost of the insurance to support that truck because you've only been driving a couple of years. You're young, so they're whacking you on insurance. You're willing to spend $1,500 a month on a vehicle cost, but you can't, sacrifice $500 or $600 on insurance. That's crazy. Now, take it from me. 22 years in, I have a hip replacement. I have 2 knees. I'm in great shape right now, but I still have all of these ailments, and that was from years on the ladder. What we do, if you're still out there working, if you're on the roof, if you're on the ladder, it beats the shit out of you. It really wears you down. You guys have to remember where your bread is buttered. You're not built to last forever. If you feel invincible when you're young, you're not. You're going to wear down. You need to put the money in the right place. Sure, get yourself a nice vehicle, but priorities, guys, this is critical. You're on a ladder every day. You're running a high-risk job. Now, Matt, how does that work? Are there any worries about, I have a high-risk job? Can they deny me the insurance?
No, they cannot. All right. So, say what you want about Obamacare, but when Obamacare came into play many years ago, he put into a rule that pre-existing conditions are covered immediately. There's no waiting period. There's no quiz, no testing or physical. So I don't care what you see. You can call me tomorrow and say, Matt, you know what? God forbid. I was diagnosed with cancer just last week. I need insurance. Not a problem. You can get insurance. If you have, especially if you have an employee or two, we put a small group policy in place for yourself and one employee. Still not a problem. So yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about being sick already or what if I get sick soon after that. It doesn't matter. And when you talk about spending money, listen, we've all gone out for dinner, and you go out, no problem going out to a steakhouse with your buddies and dropping $100, $150,
Right.
With a steak and a few cocktails. It's just it's just crazy stuff. But
Yeah. Well, when you feel good, you don't think about it, right? It's not until you have that first little slip.
And you talk about slipping on the roof or off a ladder, whatever it be. What about just coming down with a sickness or an illness where you're laid up for a couple of weeks during the busy season?
Right.
When you're losing jobs left and right because, oh my God, I didn't take care of myself. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't get my physical, my exam, my colonoscopy. I didn't get my routine. You got to check those things ahead of time to prevent those long-term illnesses.
Short-term disability insurance will cover sickness, right?
Yeah, individual short-term disability, individual long-term disability, those other insurances you could purchase, obviously, on top of your health insurance to protect you.
They're relatively inexpensive. I remember back in the day, I had an Affleck policy. I think it was like $52 a month. Incredibly cheap.
Supplemental health insurance, which I do a lot of, actually. When you go with a $500 or $600 or $700 plan, yeah, you got some deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses. But if you plug that in to a supplemental health insurance product, I deal with multiple carriers. I deal with Aflac, Combined Insurance, Colonial Life Insurance, all supplemental products that will cover you in addition to your health insurance. So God forbid you get something like that, you get a check for $5,000 or $10,000 from the supplemental carrier.
Not bad.
Like
what do they do? I was like, can you explain to us how that works? I know it's like 3 months of income or something. There's some limit and cap, obviously, but how does that work so that you can break it down in simple terms for these guys?
Yeah, well, if you look at disability insurance purely, disability insurance is, okay, I could design it. It's something called a waiting period. So if I take disability insurance out, if I get disabled tomorrow, when do they start giving me money? Okay, if you want to make it a 0-day waiting period, you fall off the ladder tomorrow, you get paid the day after tomorrow. There's no waiting period. You get paid immediately. Okay.
And it's a percentage of what your earnings are, or how does
60% of your earnings maximum. Because let's face it, they have to max it out. Because if you're only making $100,000 a year, and let's say one of your employees, for example, and you
Yeah.
do get hurt, you can't collect more on disability than you do in earnings and salary. Otherwise, you'll never come back to work.
So how does that work for self-employed, right? If you're taking a draw and you're not really showing a salary on a W-2, you're just pulling draws from the company.
They'll look at your Schedule C. They'll look at your earnings. They'll look at your revenue. They'll look at your expenses, and they'll come up with a number based on that.
Okay.
But disability it's a nice to have disability. Don't get me wrong, but the health insurance, guys, is just that is just critical. That's more important than anything.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me give you something else. Another stat that people don't realize: you could start at any time of the year. So your local marketplace, they advertise in December. Oh, January 1, open enrollment, January 1. And now here we are in February, and they're like, I missed it. I can't join. I can't get health insurance now. I got to wait till next January. That is not true. That's true of joining the local marketplace, again, whether you're California, Texas, or Connecticut. But individual products you could purchase outside the marketplace through brokers like myself, where you could start March 1st. You don't have to wait till January.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, do you recommend for these first timers, really, should they consider short term? I will tell you what happens. What we see a lot is people have injuries that take them out of work for 3 months. It's a broken bone or it's a torn Achilles, or torn Achilles is actually a bitch. That'll last a long time to heal. But I mean, a 3-month injury, right? Your body usually takes 3 months to heal on most things. If you have an active job, you really can't do it. Does short-term disability make sense, or just stick with the health?
No, it makes sense. Listen, if we had tons of money, we get all kinds of insurance, of course. But again, you don't want to overinsure yourself, like you said earlier.
Okay.
Disability insurance will cover you for that disability, of course. Health insurance. To have both is great. Disability is not going to be a lot of money, especially if you do the supplemental products that we talked about. Minimal, $7, $10, $15 a week. Not a ton of money for supplemental products like that.
Right.
So there's options. I mean, plenty of options out there. People don't realize the option. And by the way, one other point, when you work with a broker, myself or somebody, if you rather work local, whatever it may be, there's no cost to use a broker. So Frank, you said it earlier in the opening, like, where do you go? Where do you find it? A broker like myself will explain the options, show the options, and there's no cost. The insurance companies pay the broker.
So you get paid by the carrier. That's how you make your money.
That's how you make your money. There's no commission. It's built in front. What does it cost me to use a broker? It costs nothing to use a broker. Why not use a broker? It's free. It really is free.
Well, Matt, tell us exactly how you benefit the insured. If I bring you in, if I come and call on you and say, hey, help me find something, is it your breadth of knowledge? Is it your experience? What exactly are you bringing to the table that could help a guy that is shopping?
Yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, maybe it's a doctor. Maybe it's like, I want to go to my certain doctor. I love my doctor. All right, I'll do a search and see what plans that doctor takes. We'll start with that. Okay. And if you tell me, I don't care, I'll go to any doctor in my neighborhood. That's something else, all right? So now we'll start looking at those deductibles. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what an MRI is going to cost you, a deductible, a co-insurance. What's co-insurance? 80, 20, 70, 30? What does all that mean? The terms are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Another option for the younger guys, single guys, health savings account, HSA products. So it's a health insurance plan with a high upfront deductible. Then you could put pre-tax dollars, because let's say you don't use the plan. At the end of the year, like, Jesus, Frank, Jesus, Matt, you told me this thing at this podcast. I went with it. I didn't even use it.
I spent all this money on premium, and I never used it. I never went to the doctor. Oh, we lost him.
Dollars every week or every month into a health savings account. Now you're earning money. It becomes a medical IRA. So even if you don't use it, you're still going to benefit from it.
So that money sits, and then you could draw that out as savings later?
That money sits in a health savings account earning interest.
It has to be used for medical when it does come out, or you could pull it out like cash?
It could be used for many things. Your medical plan, so if you have to go to a doctor, pay for that with those pre-tax dollars, number one. Let's say you have a root canal. Okay, I don't have dental insurance, but I want to, no problem. Take those pre-tax dollars in your health savings account, go pay for it with the root canal with pre-tax dollars.
Right.
You can't use it to buy a six-pack of Corona at CVS, but when you go to CVS and get prescriptions, using it for that, because it is going to flag those non-medical items. But you can use it for many things other than just your health insurance benefits.
Well, a lot of guys have, glasses prescriptions. I'm wearing a pair of glasses right now. Dental, bad teeth. Some guys, a lot of guys can't wait to be able to pay for a dentist. You could bundle all of this stuff, right?
Absolutely. Dental, vision, super cheap. Dental for individual, we'll talk individuals here. I know we haven't talked families, but individual dental products, 15, 16, $25 a month. That's
Wow,
it.
that's it. And that covers
Vision,
cleaning?
7,
Or
8,
what?
$9, $12 a month for vision insurance.
Wow.
Fairly inexpensive. Yeah.
Do they? What's included? Like for me, I would think annual vision check or clean.
Yeah, the vision plans will cover one pair of eyeglasses, contact lenses, frames, eye exams once a year, discounts on other services. The dental products will cover you for everything: the root canals, the crowns, extractions, fillings. Some of them are discounted, 20%, 80% discounted fees, a variety of things. And by the way, for those guys that are a little more established, not the brand new guys in your business,
Right.
they've been around 2 or 3 or 4 years, and they have 1 or 2 employees. It's a great retention tool.
This
And
is
a
where I
great,
wanted to take this conversation.
I mean, these guys want to grow. You're doing great. Things are going well. When you interview somebody, one of the first questions they ask you is, "Hey, do you offer insurance?
That's right.
Health insurance? What do you have?" If you could just say, "Yeah, I got dental, I got vision, I pay for it 100%." Big deal. So you're out of pocket $40 a month to insure that guy for dental and vision. You know, all of a sudden it's a great place to work. Nice benefit package.
Yeah.
You retain that employee that you work so hard to train.
Employee retention is one of the biggest problems in the home improvement space. You
Yeah.
just can't keep guys. And yeah, I mean, you have to better the package. You got to make sure you're giving them something the next guys aren't. And this is one great way to do it. I agree.
Let's say they roll out a plan that's $700 a month for medical. By the way, there's no state mandate, no matter what state you live in, how much you have to pay as the boss. So if the premium is 700, you decide based on your budget what you want to contribute and what you want your employee to contribute. Again, this is for the small guy that has 2 or 3 or 1 employee.
Right.
You could say to them, "I offer you health insurance. That's going to cost you $300 a month." Maybe you, the boss, wants to kick in the other 3 or 400 a month.
Okay.
All of a sudden, now it's even less expensive for the owner, and the employee's like, "This is great, $300 a month. I get health insurance here."
So they would be looking at that bronze plan, something in that range as well.
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's what a great place to work. It costs me $300 for health insurance. I get free dental and vision, and what's the boss out? $300 a month.
Yeah.
It's a nice package. It's a real nice package.
So when does it start getting expensive? Like what do we need to watch out for? Is it children and families? Like
The families. I just enrolled a family today, an individual contractor, similar to what we're talking about tonight. And the family rate was $1,109 a month for a husband, wife, and 3 children. $1,109 a month. Now, granted, it's not the Lamborghini of health insurance,
cheap,
but it's a product that has a $1,500 deductible, no big deal. And then it has copays and hospital copays after that. Again, that's $1,100. You can go as high as $4,000 a month.
right?
Back to the Lamborghini. If you could afford it, God bless you. So it gets expensive, a little more expensive, certainly covering spouses and children and full families for sure.
Now I know I don't even know where you are in the process. I know Stacy was spearheading it. My wife. I know we're working on a renewal through you. I don't know how far along you guys have gotten. I'd love to kind of throw my stuff out there, my scenario to understand, because man, I've had so many surgeries over the years. I've torn this and broke that, and it just sky's the limit. Playing rugby for years. I mean, I had every injury known to man. But the big stuff is joint replacements, hip, 2 knees. I had a really bad rotator cuff tear, an AC joint that had to get worked on, and that was a big surgery as well. Stuff like that, right? I have this history, right? I probably look like I'm a nightmare on paper for anybody that has to like maybe potentially come out of pocket for me and an insurer. Can they deny me? Can they say, nah, we don't, or we're going to jack, maybe not deny me, but does my rate get incredibly expensive based on my history?
The individual products for an individual, yes, they do ask health questions and they could deny you for a true, pure individual. But as a business owner that has 1 employee, they can't deny you. Okay. So
wow. All right, let's talk about that. As a business owner with 1 employee, what if I had 2 employees, 5 employees?
I should say 1 or more employees. An owner with 1 or more employees, you're on the insurance and you insure at least 1 other employee in addition to yourself.
That's deemed a group?
That's a group.
Okay.
In a group, you cannot be denied. They will not charge you higher rates based on your medical history. And you're going to get the same rate and the same product as someone that's super healthy and never used insurance at all.
Well, I'm an employee of the company. My wife is an employee of the company. Does that make a group?
No, that doesn't. So there's really a crazy, crazy rule there.
That's dirty.
Yeah. If the owner has that other W-2 employee,
Right.
will be anybody other than a spouse. Your sister, your brother, your best friend, your girlfriend, I don't care who it is. If it's a spouse, then you don't qualify for a small group plan.
Okay. So it does behoove the business owner to try to create a group, try to get an if they have a colorful medical history like I do.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody should have to worry about being denied or not having access, right? Is that a common problem?
Yeah, it is. And this is a great trick that I've told. I can't even tell you how many people I've told this to. If you called me and say, hey, Matt, my name is Frank. I have a business. I've had all kinds of medical issues. I own a business. I have no partners. I have no employees. It's just me. I need health insurance. What can I do? And we go through the scenario. Here's my suggestion. Make somebody a partner in your business, not your spouse, your brother, your sister, your best buddy. I don't care who it is, your mother, your father, your grandmother. Make them a 5% partner on paper. And now they're a partner. Now you have Frank and you have a partner.
Interesting.
Now you qualify for group. The partner doesn't have to go on the insurance. You put your mother on the plan. She's on Medicare. Who cares?
Right.
Now we have a group plan. No health questions asked. We'll get you enrolled. I refer this to a corporate attorney all the time. Partnership.
This to me, guys, this is a major reason why you go to a guy like Matt. You go to Matt because he knows the workarounds, right? Who would have thought of that? What do we know, right? We're nervous as it is trying to piece this all together. This is why you go to a seasoned guy like Matt. I have a question, Matt, from somebody in the audience. And Philip, this is a Philip Fillinger question. Philip, by all means, the number at the top of the screen, if you want to call in, we could have an open discussion on this. Give a call to that 914 number. Otherwise, I'm going to read your question while I'm looking at it. He's asking, what's the minimum to offer insurance in a business? I've had someone tell me that I have to have 75% of my employees sign up or a minimum of 5 employees or they wouldn't offer it. Wow.
No way.
More, Matt.
No way. So
does it matter where he lives? What state?
No, it doesn't matter that either. Nope, doesn't matter. I have clients in Maui, for God's sakes. It doesn't matter. So you're a business. It sounds like you have a business and you have a couple of employees. Let's say you had a business, you're the owner, and you have 10 employees, 15 employees, and this other person's telling you need a certain percentage enrolled, or you need at least 5. Not true. Yes, the insurance companies will say we need at least 60 or 75% of your group. Here's the trick.
Another trick, guys.
Another trick. You do a carve out. You do what they call a class carve out. So now you say to me, well, I got one guy. He's my head. I don't know your business that well, but he's a foreman. He's my head guy in the field.
Right.
My head salesman, my chief salesman, my VP, whatever you want to call him. And then you. And everybody else is just laborers.
Okay.
So now we tell, hypothetically, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I got a group here, Blue Cross. I got 8 or 10. I got 15 people. But there's only 2 that are eligible. The owner and the foreman. Because we're doing a class carve out. We call it a management carve out. And now we got only 2 eligibles.
And that's all done on your side? The entity doesn't need to create any kind of paperwork or any kind of...
No, legitimately, I would ask them. No paperwork needed. Legitimately, I said, what's his title? Oh, he's a foreman. He's a chief, head, whatever you want to call him, head field guy. If that's the story, and you could tell even by earnings, if you look at the payroll report, so this guy's making a lot more than everybody else. So we do a carve out. I've done it all the time. I did it with a 90-person group, 90 employees. We put 4 people on health insurance because we did a management carve out, executive carve out. You could discriminate with a class carve out based on job description, based on years of service, based on income.
Philip, class carve out. Don't call that guy back. Call Matt. Call Matt and he'll work it out for you. Yeah. Sounds like the person you were talking to doesn't know what they're doing.
They're just looking at the guidelines, underwriting guidelines, and that's what the guidelines say, but you got to look a little deeper.
Yeah, we're going to put Matt's website up on the groups. I'm on Gutter Installer. George in the backdrop is on Gutter Installers. We're going to post on both to make sure you guys have Matt's business information. You don't mind I do this, Matt, do you?
That's okay with me.
I mean, look, if something works for me in the world, I like to extend that and share it. So,
and guys, for your audience, Frank, listen, if they want to shoot me an email and reach out to me, I'd be happy just as a resource, guys, as a resource. If you have something in place already, I'll look at it. If you don't know what you have, because sometimes when I look at somebody's plan that they have already, so you know what? You're in a good place. You know what you have, what you're paying for it based on your needs, just leave it as is, just as a second opinion, so to speak. I'll be happy to look at anything, of course.
Yeah, you're the best. Do you have any anecdotal stories or industry tales about
Oh,
things
man.
you were able to pull off, or
Tons.
we love hearing stuff like that because we're in a unique industry.
Yeah, I have. I'll tell you, here's one story that pops out when you first answer that question. Years ago, not many years ago, there was a lady in Queens, and it was a medical group, medical practice with a bunch of employees. And her son at the time, who was 10 years old, needed an organ transplant.
Oh wow!
So she had a health insurance plan in place, but the organ transplant, if anybody's been around this, friends, family, or relatives, uh, the medication that's needed, prescriptions or rejection, very, very expensive. So the organ doesn't get rejected.
Ugh.
And she couldn't find an insurance company that would cover that medication. And I found one. It's something called a drug formulary. So we found it. We found the carrier. I moved it to this carrier. The son had the transplant. The son's still been with that carrier. He's had the medication prescribed for him. And every Christmas time, she comes to my office with a bunch of cases of pears and fruits as a thank you. And now the son is several years older, obviously, and crying in the audience in my lobby. And it's just a great feeling that she credits me to saving her son's life. Really,
Wow. It's amazing.
And it was just great stuff. I'll give you one more story if you want. I'll give you stories all night long.
Yeah. I love it.
But there was a lady who owned a ceramic tile company, and I walked in there and she goes, "Oh, I have a broker. I'm happy. I got a good plan. My broker's a good guy." And I probed a little more, and she was getting a mastectomy, right? Double mastectomy about 4 weeks from the day I was meeting her.
Wow.
And her renewal was up. And I looked at her health plan. I said, "You realize your plan's changing, and they're changing the provider network that you have access to." It was Emblem, which is a GHI company. I'm familiar with the name. So I looked at this, and I looked at her doctors. I'm like, "Do you realize the doctors that are performing the surgery do not take the network of the new plan you're being enrolled into in about 2 weeks?" So she was
How are they not telling her this?
It was crazy. It was on. I remember when she asked,
they're all over me with paperwork. Well, triple checking. They're checking cards.
No, she checked her doctors. She checked everything. Everything was set in place.
Yeah.
But it was a couple of weeks before her renewal. And at renewal time, they were changing the product that she had. So I flipped the switch. We made some moves. I got her into the proper product that had her doctors. And then a week or two after that, she had the double mastectomy. It was considered in network, and life goes on. So thank God, you need somebody. Listen, laser focused on health insurance. That means a lot. It's not just a tagline.
Yeah. This is what Matt's specialty is. He doesn't do general liability or workers' comp. This is what his forte is for a reason, because he's very well versed at it. You know what? I'd like you to weigh in on something that we have to do here with me. And this is something for the guys at home. For guys that get hurt or have injuries or know they have something, a lot of guys have tendinitis or trouble with their elbows from using snips and hand tools. If you know you have something coming up, Matt's the kind of person that you're going to want to strategize with, because you want the insurance to pay as much of that procedure as possible. So how you pad that and how you time your surgeries is critical. I've been good at it and I've been bad at it. And a lot of times it's because I didn't have the advice that I needed. This is pre-you, Matt, where it's like, what do I do? And we're trying to interpret the policy ourselves, and we're calling, you're on hold forever. You get the insurance company and they give you half truths. They don't tell you the whole big picture and, how much you're going to have to pay at the end. It's shaken out every which way. But what is your take on that science behind preparing for a procedure or changing or upgrading your policy because you have some big expense coming down the pipeline?
Yeah. So this is important. And if there's any insurance executives on this podcast, I could be in some trouble. But listen,
I doubt it, Matt.
I got no problem screwing insurance companies legally. I follow the rules, and the rules are there to work. So, for example, when I sit down with somebody and they're telling me, maybe she's pregnant, I can see she's obviously pregnant, the person I'm meeting, and she's going into the hospital. We know she's going into the hospital. Or if somebody tells me I need to get my shoulder operated on, let's jump into a really rich product. Pay a little more premium right now. Let's go into a plan where it's a $500 hospital copay. Pay more money for it.
Right.
3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, a month later, whatever it may be, bam, the baby's born, or your shoulder surgery happens, and you pay your $500 and you're thrilled. A month later, we get out of it. Okay, because you could remember it's a month to month. All these plans are month to month contracts. And remember what I said: when you go into a new plan, there's no pre-existing condition issue. So go into it, have a rich product, use it, abuse it, and then get out of it, and we'll drop you into a lower option product a month or so later.
Now I'm playing devil's advocate here. How are you motivated to help me make moves like that? If you're not getting paid by me, what motivates you to spend the time to help me out in a situation like that where I need to make some slick moves?
Nothing I love more when somebody calls me afterwards. And a lady, I swear on my 3 children, right before Christmas, a lady calls me and her son was diagnosed with leukemia, her 17-year-old son, 2 weeks before Christmas. And we put her into a super plan on January 1st. And this son is now going through chemotherapy and all the treatments. And when he's all said and done, we're going to get her out of this expensive plan. So, what's in it for me? Nothing. Really nothing. It's keeping somebody happy.
Pears every Christmas.
It's like
bring you some fruit.
It sounds corny, and people ask me all the time, when are you getting out of the business? You've been in it a long time. When are you going to get out? I love this. I love helping people out. And when I could save somebody $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in hospital bills and have the insurance pay for it, listen, the executives are making a lot of money in the insurance companies, a lot more than anybody's making on this podcast, believe me. So, why not? You have to know. Because, I wish I would have known you a year ago. I wish I would have known you 6 months ago. I just had this done in the hospital. It cost me thousands of dollars. I wish I would have known you. Well, sometimes it's too late, but you got to know.
Well, you're bleeding heart. I know you firsthand, so you're definitely the guy for the job where it's like, hey, man, I got to make a move. We have to make a switch, and I appreciate that about you. Tell us about your operation a little bit. What's the structure there? What do you have for? Oh, is there a call?
Yeah, I got Ray from New Jersey.
Ray? Oh, we got Ray from New Jersey on the phone. I don't know if this is his.
Company called Spray Tech.
Oh, it's Spray Tech?
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, we got Spray Tech on the phone.
Bring him on.
All right, we'll take the call. Hello. Caller, you there? Ray?
Can you hear me?
A little bit. Yeah, actually, we can. George, turn him up a little.
Sound great.
There he is.
Now you hear me?
Hi, Ray. How are you, my friend?
Good, Frank. And yourself?
Doing okay. Where you calling from, buddy?
New Jersey. I feel the need to call in because we use Matt, my company, and I wanted to vouch how amazing he is. We have 220 employees.
Wow.
We've been with another. We were with another broker for a long time, and used Matt this year. He got us into an incredible product, saved us money, was super informative. The onboarding was amazing, seamless for all of our employees, no issues at all. I went from the Rolls-Royce plan after talking to Matt and went to an HSA. Absolutely just incredible advice. Best in the business.
This
if
is,
anyone
this
needs
is
any
yourself
advice.
or for the group? Everybody had their own?
No, both. We offer the Rolls-Royce plan. We offer the HSA. We give our employees options. But personally, I was with the Rolls-Royce. And after talking to Matt, it just didn't make sense for me to pay that kind of money out of pocket after looking at the HSA plan. And like I said, if anyone out there needs any advice, Matt's the guy. Absolutely top-notch, honest person, and super helpful.
What did Matt do that was different than the guy before him?
Honestly, he went out and shopped it to way more insurance carriers and pitted them against each other. Got us really incredible products bundled together at a savings. So we didn't lose anything. We gained and pay less money out of pocket.
You would think, I mean, Matt, is that how it works? Negotiating power when you have 220 people to play, like you're swinging a heavy bet, right?
Yeah, no doubt. No, you have to negotiate a little bit. You got to squeeze them a little bit. Listen, insurance companies want the business. How bad do you want it?
Yeah. So, do you take these little guys? I mean, we're talking to, we're 2 and 3 man operations. I know you do big operations too. And I love to hear stories like this, but these small guys need you. You pull it off for them?
100 twos equal 200. Quick math.
Good point.
Yeah, Frank, I spoke to Matt about that before switching over as well. Another thing that I loved about Matt was like, the way he described how he built his business was, singles and doubles.
That's
Singles
it.
and
That's
doubles.
the game, right?
You get the ones and twos, and occasionally, every now and then, you hit the triple or you hit the home run. We're a middle-sized company. We're not huge.
What do you guys do?
But
right.
We do contract manufacturing.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So
That's it. I wanted to call in and vouch for you guys, and really Matt is just the best in the business.
Can you, before you go, I'd love to hear what, 220 employees, you have factory workers too, right?
Correct.
Oh.
A lot of hourly. The majority of our workers are factory workers.
Okay. And what does insurance mean to them? How important is insurance in the whole package, the employment package for those people?
Yeah, for retention purposes, it's huge. When you get a young kid, 20 to 25 years old, they're not thinking insurance like us older people.
True.
But there is no doubt when when we provided, Matt was able to bundle our vision, our dental, our healthcare, everything into one, provided the HSA, like I said. So when we're recruiting, it's a big part of our recruitment. I always say that we're benefit rich. So a big reason for people coming to us versus a competitor or someone else is the benefits we offer.
Sure.
In addition to the 401k and all those other things. So to me, it's a huge retention, which in manufacturing, obviously turnover is a major problem in manufacturing in our country. So having an advantage keeping people is priority.
That's amazing. Fantastic. Matt, nice job, man.
Ray, thank you, Ray. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate the call.
You got it. All right, guys. Have
Thanks,
a great
Ray.
day. All right.
Friend Philip continues this question. He's asking, what does a family plan normally run? His wife is a nurse and is quoted $2,300 a month for the family through her work. So, which is interesting, right? Because she works in a medical facility. I bet you the insurance is shit, right?
It's hard. I can't answer that. I don't know for sure what she's offered, but that's her cost. It sounds like $2,300 a month out of her paycheck.
Right.
The plan probably costs more than that. So yeah, I've seen plans as high as $4,000, $4,500 a month. If she's got a super rich plan, she's paying $2,300. The hospital's paying the difference. She's paying $700. She's paying $2,300.
Right.
You may have a plan that actually costs $2,300, and the hospital's cheap as hell, and they're saying, "Hey, we're not going to pay for any of it, and we're passing the whole thing on to the employee." So it's hard to say how rich her plan is. If he wants to share with me that plan, I'll give an idea. But
Philip, like he said, you show him his, get with Matt, get on a call with Matt, schedule a call, and show him the plan. Let's see it on paper. He could break it down for you and really help you digest it and understand exactly what it is they're offering. Because just by the dollar amount by month, that doesn't really tell us much. But Matt'll put the time in.
Yeah. Again, family premiums go from about $1,000 to about $4,600.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Right now, I'm insuring two of my children and my wife and myself. Obviously, I think we're like almost $1,000 ahead. It's a little less than that, maybe $3,500, something like that. And again, I've had all kinds of procedures, and my kids get sick a little bit. My wife never goes to the doctor. Honey, if you're listening, I love you so much. Also, I wanted to sneak one in, Matt. We have some friends listening, right? Some mutual friends. We have Jamie, we have Kelly is listening in, maybe Laura. Renee and her husband, her husband, right?
Yeah.
Howie? How we doing? I saw her today. I told her I would sneak that in. Howie, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're watching. I made you wait all this time to get that one in, but I promised her I would.
I can hear Kyle laughing now.
Amazing. But look, a family plan is not cheap. Guys, again, Uncle Frank talking. I remember when I, first got married. Now I'm on my second marriage. I have a child from my first marriage, and I am remarried, and I have 2 kids with my beautiful wife. I remember when I first became a man, right? My balls dropped, and things got real. You start having expenses you never had before. You start paying for medical insurance for a family. It costs money. Guys, you have to earn. You got to get out there and earn, because you got to protect the family, and it's going to cost you money. It is what it is. But I know when I have a policy, it doesn't matter what happens. God forbid my kid has something bad happen, or, down to the common cold, kids go to the doctors. That's what they do. I need to make sure that the insurance covers for that. And it's peace of mind. Just as a man, I lay my head on the pillow. To me, it's like, that's covered. I remember when that was one of the feathers in the cap. Like, we got that taken care of. It's just life, guys. It's one of those things. And I don't know, Matt. I mean, is there some math or a way to look at, quantify, or kind of digest mentally? Because sometimes I see like my other, like GL, workers' comp, they come after me based on my earnings, right? I see what they do. They don't tell me they do this, but their costs are really driven by a percentage of my revenue. If we're doing $4 million a year, isn't it interesting how my costs on insurance are a piece of that, 1%, 1.5, something like that? Is there math on your side with health insurance, or like a little, like, stick it in your pocket mental note on how much a guy should pay versus, what percentage out of their revenue should they?
No, there is that doesn't, no.
All right.
The answer is absolutely clear. No. I have very wealthy clients going with really bottom of the road products.
Really?
Yeah, no doubt. Because remember,
it's cheap, right? I mean, what is it?
What I said, guys.
Cheapness.
Here you go. Let's take a family, since we're talking families for a second. If a family plan costs $2,000 a month, and the maximum out of pocket for the family is $15,000, right? So the whole family has a bad year. The worst case out of that pocket is $15,000. Many hospitals, many MRIs, and it costs them $2,000 a month for that, right? Now,
hold on. Let me stop right there. Can you talk about this? Because I've been here. Now, I pay my bills. I don't know anybody anything, but don't they can't, like, harass you, right? You could stretch out a hospital.
Oh, sure.
On a note.
Yeah, you pay them $100 a month forever. Yeah, negotiating bills is something else. But the benefit plan that you own, let's take me. If I bought a $2,000 plan for my family, and I know my out-of-pocket limit, or my maximum out-of-pocket, is $15,000 in a bad year. That's my safety net. I talked about it earlier, safety net. Or I could sell you a $4,000 plan for a family, right? And the safety net maybe is $12,000 for the year. So, like, wait a minute. If I do the math, I'm paying $24,000 a year for a plan at $15,000 worst case. Right. I'm paying $48,000. So you go with the less expensive plan. So many wealthier people would say to me, give me the less expensive plan because I'm still capped with my safety net. That's why it almost doesn't pay to go with a really rich plan. The only time it does is when you're ready to have that surgery, or you're ready to pop that baby out. When you're ready, and then you go with a rich plan, because then you got a $500 hospital cost. Otherwise, 9 times out of 10, it pays to go with the least expensive product because you're still covered by that out-of-pocket limit.
What about a hybrid? Let's say you make decent money. You could afford a policy. Let's say a family, you could afford $5,000. You don't bat an eye at that. And is there a way to find a policy where I spend the money, but I get the money back? Like, let's talk about that HSA. Like, how does the money sit? How do I roll it over? How do I not lose that? I don't want to just throw premium out the window like a short-term life insurance, where it's like gone with the wind. I want that to be an investment. I want to be able to roll it or retract it, do something with it. How does that work?
Yep. Let's use the $4,000 premium per month and $2,000 premium per month.
All right.
Someone's saving $2,000. I'm going to take $1,000 of my savings, $1,000 pre-tax, and put it in my health savings account every month. Month 1, month 2, month 3, $1,000 a month. If I use the plan a little bit, doctor's visits, some labs, some x-rays, blah, blah, blah. $12,000 has been saved. I use some of it. Hypothetically, I have $9,000 sitting in there at the end of the year. Now what happens? I got $9,000 pre-tax dollars in my health savings account. That rolls into the following year. And now you can contribute again into the following year. And then it continues to roll. It becomes a medical IRA. I signed up a car dealership about 12 years ago, and the owner did exactly what I told him to do. And every year, he uses about half of what he tucked in and hid from the IRS. He's got a huge nest egg sitting there, which is earning interest in his HSA account. instead of giving all those premium dollars to the executives at the health insurance
And
company.
can he can only utilize that for medical?
No, dental, like we talked about, home aids, pre-K nursery school. There's a list of a
Wow.
mile long of IRS
Guys,
related
this
expenses.
is a great little relief. This is a good tax shelter for the guys that are actually making money and maybe need something, right? You want to make sure you're covered. You have kids, they're in and out of the doctor. That's a good way to kind of hedge your bet. You're not throwing the money away like a premium exclusively, and the money's there, and it's there for a rainy day or for the next procedure or what have you.
Absolutely. It's a great option.
Just so you know, as we're talking here, Philip responded again, and he said he will. I said, I was talking online here. I said, call Matt. He'll break it down for you. He said you're going to get a call tomorrow.
Cool. Sorry, I'm busy tomorrow, Phil.
He's not golfing, Philip. He's full of it. It's too cold outside. All right. Well, I mean, man, you do understand. I mean, you live in this space. It is a little tumultuous. It can make your head spin.
Absolutely.
Can you put some words on that? Can you calm these guys down and just kind of?
It's you know what, you have to deal with somebody that knows what in anything. And listen, my garage door spring broke yesterday. You think I'm going to go out there and try to fix that thing? Can I? Maybe I can. Deal with the experts in anything you do. So it's really important. Let somebody explain it to you and understand it. Because when I sponsor events all the time, and I tell the crowd, right now everybody has an ID card in their pocket. Most people have a health insurance ID card. And what does that card mean? Do you know what you've been covered for? Do you know tomorrow, Frank? If you went for an MRI tomorrow, what's going to be your cost? You may not even know.
Yeah.
You're paying tons of money for a product, but you don't know what you have. Let somebody explain it to you. It is very confusing. And, until something happens, then you realize, like the lady that someone was diagnosed with leukemia before Christmas. She's running along, no problem, paying premiums, got her card in her pocket, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden you get hit with something like that. Now you're like, holy shit, do I have the right plan in place? Do I have the right coverage?
Yeah.
Speak to somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. These things change quick, guys. A year goes by fast. Policies change. How often do you find that if you have the same policy written, the same set of, do they sneak anything by you? They changing things and not really telling you?
Most products, the rates are guaranteed for 12 months. And I said earlier, it's a month-to-month contract. So when you buy a product, typically those rates are not going to change for 12 months, and your benefits are not going to change for 12 months from the time you bought it, typically.
12 months goes fast.
Yeah.
At our age.
Yeah. So at renewal time, yes, you're going to get your rate increase. The insurance company's going to raise you 5, 10, 15, 20%, depending. If you're on the marketplace, subsidies, as we talked about, government subsidies are disappearing. Rates are getting triple now because subsidies are no longer there. So at renewal time, things happen. That's when people look. Oh, my rates are going up. Time to look and see what my options are. That's typically when it happens. But
now, how do you handle renewals? Do you come and remind me and say, hey?
Yeah. My staff will give you a call 60 days before that renewal date.
Oh, perfect.
We'll give you a call and say, hey, we got your renewal. The rate's going up X percent. You happy with your plan? You want to see some options? Matt will talk to you about the options. We'll figure something out. We'll re-strategize and maybe switch gears and go somewhere else, depending. Because like you said, a year changes. It's rates and benefits, but maybe your health situation changed.
Yeah.
Your financial situation changed. Business is bad. COVID kicks in, right? Another COVID comes by, and all of a sudden business tanks. Change your plan a little bit.
Yeah, you guys have to be prepared for the unexpected, the things you don't know, the things you can't prepare for. You just have to have certain things have to happen. They're non-negotiable. Health insurance is one of them. Things turn fast. Health could change fast. I'm glad I have you myself, Matt. Again, selfishly, I'm glad that you're in charge of this. So I know it's getting handled. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, for sure. Yep.
What are you up to this weekend? Super Bowl plans or what?
Yeah, Super Bowl plans, family stuff, going out, eating, drinking, spending all the money because, I don't spend on health insurance. I have a low premium plan. I'm a cheap guy. I'm one of those cheap guys. I keep my premiums low.
Smart. I mean.
Yeah, listen, because I know, listen.
A lot.
If I go to the doctor tomorrow and they say, Matt, we found something wrong. Life's going to change a little bit for you. I am jumping out of my plan that I have so fast. And March 1st, I'm going to be in that Lamborghini health insurance product.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no one could tell you otherwise, right? That's
Yep.
completely legal to do that.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, guys, you need an advisor. That's how this needs to go. That's the bottom line is you need advisory on this. Let somebody steer the ship, and you have options. So many misnomers tonight. Things that people think are, can't jump. Gotta make that enrollment period. Can't do this, can't do that. Matt's kind of dispelling a lot of stuff tonight, and I think it's healthy. Man, I don't know. Any questions for me on this? Anything you want to get out there for these young guys trying to make a name for themselves? I mean, you're an entrepreneur yourself, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm in a similar boat that everybody's in the audience. And, if you don't have anything now, get something. Just get something. I don't care if it's some of those supplemental products we talked about. Get something in place, low level. And if you have something and you're not happy with the price you're paying, maybe you're not happy with your current broker too. That happens too sometimes. I'll talk to a business owner and we look at the plan. Everything's working out fine. It's okay. What he has is the right plan for them, but they hate their broker. You can always switch brokers. I can become their broker and their servicing broker and handle them during the year
Right.
without having to do anything. So, there's all things. Just take a close look at what you have. Make sure what you have is what you really need. Because when you need it and it's not there, it's going to hurt. You're going to realize what you don't have.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got another comment from the audience. Matt Wandell. I know the guy. Matt, what's going on, Matt? Good to hear from you. Matt says, I haven't been to the doctor in over 15 years. I would have spent a lot of money I didn't need to. As I'm getting older, I'm rethinking that. I mean, I would say, Matt, you're probably very lucky.
Congratulations, Matt. You won. You won your gamble for 15 years. Congratulations. But if you keep playing red on the roulette wheel, black's going to come out soon.
Yeah, Matt, I don't know your age. We've met a number of times in person, but I don't know if you're maybe in your mid-30s or something. But I'll tell you, man, once you hit 40, things start to change. You didn't know were going to change. Matt, what do you think? 40 was a big one, right? Like by 42, you're like, ooh, what's
yeah,
here, man?
It just happens. Things start to ache. You wake up in the morning, you have aches and pains you didn't have when you went to bed.
Yeah.
It just happens. So, it reminds me of it was a 34-year-old guy, and he was saving money to buy his Yukon that he wanted. No, Denali he wanted, yeah. And he saved money. I'm not going health insurance. And he saved enough money for his Denali. And then he threw a circular saw through his thigh when he was out working. And, all of a sudden things changed a little bit. So, yeah, yes, you can gamble. And does it kill me every month to put money in that, and pay that health insurance for me when I don't use it? Yeah, it hurt. It kills me. I'd rather take the money and go on vacation with it.
You probably know the statistics, right? Why don't you throw some numbers at these guys, especially with this situation that Matt just gave us, right? And he just responded. He says he's 40. I mean, by the numbers, when do things start to get really expensive or when does the mule start to break down? What do the numbers tell us?
That's the number. The number is 40. And I'm not just saying it because he just called in. The number is 40. No doubt about it. 20s and 30s, minimal stuff. So minimal.
Yeah.
40s, things change.
I still don't recommend gambling on that, guys. You young guys, I don't recommend gambling because things are catastrophic. I don't want to name names because maybe they don't want to be named, but we know a few guys, right? I mean, torn Achilles, knees, shoulders, falling off ladders. It happens all the time, and it's catastrophic. I can't tell you how many guys we all know where it was a financial crisis. It was a financial crisis, and they're in debt to the hospital. You recover, but you still pay, still owing people. So Matt, you're a lucky man. Like Matt Caselli here said, wow, what a run you went on. Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I want to see really quick. I'm going to look really fast. See how fast I can find it for you guys. Really fast. A 40, it's 40-year-old, you said?
Yeah, 40.
40-year-old, really quick. Guys, it's going to be so fast. Watch how fast. A least expensive product that he could go with as a 40-year-old, because some products are age banded. So here we go. 40-year-old, $419 a month. Okay, just look it up. Real numbers here.
That's cheap.
$419 a month for a 44-year-old.
He's got a young child and a wife. I know Matt to know that.
The full family, that same exact product is $1,039, $1,039. Now, not the best plan, but it's a hell of a lot better than what he's got now.
Insurance.
A hell of a lot better than what he's got now because he's got nothing now. So, and by the way, when you have a family, maybe you don't need to cover your whole family. So Matt is the policyholder, let's just say. Maybe his wife just wants it, or maybe he just wants it, or him and his child. Maybe the child go on a Child Help Plus. Maybe there's government programs out there. So you'll have to cover your whole family. But if he were to cover the whole family, it's 1039. And it's going to cover him. God forbid he has $100,000 hospital, whether it's him, his wife, or his child, for $1,000 a month, basically. Yes, it's not going to be covered 100%. It's going to cost about $5,000-$6,000 for a $100,000 stay.
Right.
But it's something.
That's obviously having something substantial done, $5-6 grand for whatever that $100,000 stay is.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So that's real numbers. That's what I just gave you. Yeah.
All right, right on, man. Right on. I appreciate your time. I mean, I want to have you back too. I mean, we could keep going on this. There's so much to learn.
Whenever.
I'm going to share the link again. George, you have it. Where did you post it? It's on Gutter Installer and Gutter Installers Facebook groups. And, you guys DM me if you need to get a hold of Matt, by all means, at any time. If for some reason the link isn't there, you need to get a hold of this guy, let me know. He's a buddy. He's a vendor that I trust. We're working with him on policy now. And I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know. These things are too confusing to understand. These policies are written in Chinese. I don't know what's going on. I need someone like him, a straight shooter. He's a guy's guy, to read it, break it down to me, tell me in English, and calm my nerves that this is the right answer. And look, we're busy people. Everybody's running in 100 directions. We have a million things to do. The last thing you want to do at 9:30 at night is try to break this down and decipher exactly what that all means. That's my 2 cents on this, Matt. I appreciate you. And
thank you, Frank.
We'll do to hang. So.